Knowlwood's is a hamburger chain in Southern California that started in 1957. Thank you for your suggestion. Knowlwood's was founded in 1957 by Roy and Faye Knowlton and a partner named Walter Wood. The first restaurant opened at 5665 East La Palma Avenue, which at the time was in an area not called Anaheim Hills, but simply Olive. Knowlton and her partner Walter Wood opened the roadside eatery, which is basically a fruit stand with a grill. There were 4 items on the menu: ham, BLT, grilled cheese sandwiches, and those soon-to-be famous burgers. Back in the 1950s, there was no 91 freeway, and there were orange groves all over the place, and a hamburger stand on Imperial Highway that served road-weary travelers. As the county grew around them, they kept serving burgers, which the locals called the world's best. The stand was established at the old Orangewood Ranch, originally a part of Olive, California, in an open field on Imperial Highway filled with avocado trees, which is today Anaheim Hills, California. The name Orangewood Ranch changed to Knowlwood in 1962, the year before the Knowlton family bought out Walter, aka Gene Wood. In addition to local farmers and ranch hands, Knowlwood attracted Hollywood types making the trip to Palm Springs. Knowlton and her husband Roy, who quit as a trucker and joined her in the business when it started to take off, served Eddie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds, as well as Anthony Quinn, among others. But it was Knowlwood's Burgers that built its reputation. Her partner's brother, Gordon Wood, coined the phrase, "home of the world's best hamburger." Knowlwood's Standard Bear Burger was originally 45 cents, a heftier price compared to nearby burger chains Carl's Jr. and McDonald's at that time. Knowlton seems prouder of her culinary innovations to which she laid claim, among them the turkey burger, the bacon cheeseburger, and the Irish nachos. The Anaheim Hills restaurant remained largely unchanged in the 1980s. Gravel parking lot, lights strung up over picnic benches outside, old screen doors that clanked shut behind you, and a fireplace that was outside. It might have been part of a restaurant at one time, but it was just a place for little kids. I remember when they call out your name on the old PA system announcing your order was ready for pickup. We used to call this restaurant the Fly Palace for the amount of flies that were inside the restaurant. In fact, for the longest time, the parking lot was a large, unpaved, gravel-filled lot that could accommodate large big rigs. It was a truck stop and a place for locals who wanted great-tasting burgers. One thing that stuck out in my mind about this place was the picnic tables. I remember how sticky and dirty they were. No amount of elbow grease could ever get those seats cleaned. I remember when the restaurant was enclosed with screens and it was very hot and not well ventilated. To me, it always seemed that it was dirty, but maybe that was the small town charm about this place. They weren't going for the ambiance, but rather for the food. In 1988, the large parcel of land occupied by Knowlwood's as well as Sutherland Lumber was zoned for a new movie theater. Construction broke ground on the first theater in Anaheim Hills called Cinemanopolis. You're probably wondering why I'm mentioning this. Well, it is important because it is the same time when Knowlwood's began to make changes. Toshuku Trading Company bought the Knowlwood's chain in 1989 when the Knowltons wanted out. The original Knowlwood building would be torn down, and a new modern restaurant would be built in the same location, with air conditioning and a paved parking lot. At the time of the acquisition, the Knowltons had grown the burger chain into 5 restaurants, all of which were in Orange County. Knowlwood would have a more modern feel, even though they were trying to replicate the restaurant being in an old barn. They still had some picnic tables and benches here, but there were also booths as well. Ordering is done at the counter, and then your number is called when your order is ready to be picked up. The chain would have locations in Anaheim Hills, Santa Ana, Irvine, and even a cafe at the Santa Ana Zoo. But in 1998, the Japanese company filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy. It would later be purchased by Tan Nguyen. The Knowlwood's burger chain would slowly close the locations over the next few years. The Knowlwood's location in downtown Fullerton closed in 2010. The Laguna Niguel location would also close. The Santa Ana location on 17th Street would close in 2018, as well as the Santa Ana Zoo location. The original Knowlwood restaurant at La Palma Avenue and Imperial Highway in Anaheim Hills closed on Monday, February 3rd, 2020, after more than 60 years, leaving only one in the chain, Old Town Irvine. The original location is now at TAP's Great American Brewery. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Thanks.